Little darling, it's been a long, cold, lonely winter. Little darling, it feels like years since it's been here. Here comes the sun, here comes the sun, and I say it's alright. Little darling, the smiles returning to the faces. Little darling, it feels like years since it's been here. Here comes the sun, here comes the sun, and I say it's alright. Sun, 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 here it comes. 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 Little darling, I see that ice is slowly melting. Little darling, it seems like years since it's been clear. Here comes the sun, here comes the sun, and I say it's alright. Here comes the sun, here comes the sun, it's alright, it's alright. Here Comes the Sun, written by George Harrison, recorded by the Beatles more than 50 years ago, but never more appropriate than right now. This is towards the end of February in 2021, when we are reaching the end of a long, cold winter, and a very, very lonely one for many, many people. Not just the actual winter, but the long, lonely time of lockdown and isolation that we are still enduring, but we are looking forward to the spring and the summer, when we'll hopefully start to be able to do some of the things that we miss, some of the things that we used to do, and we'll look forward to doing again. So here comes the sun. Bring it on. Some really great guitar work on this song, and my version of it is pretty close, I think, to the original. And I'll show you the main bits. So there's the verse, which is also the introduction, the chorus, which is unusually the first bit that is sung, and there's the bridge, and there's a fantastic riff. So I'm going to start with the fantastic riff. That's the bit that goes like this. That bit. Now, obviously, as you will have seen, I've got my capo on fret 7. Okay, so I'll be referring to the chord shapes that I'm using. For example, it's built around the shape of D. The pitch of this chord is in fact an A. It's an A major, but I'll be referring to the shapes as you hopefully know them. And a lot of the guitar stuff is built around some basic chords, but it's got extra sort of clever little fiddly diddly bits, which I'll explain as we go. So, riff. Starts with a nice slide. I've got finger 3, and I'm playing on fret 2. By the way, my fret numbers relate to the capo rather than the real fret. fret 2 is 2 frets above the capo. I'm on string 3, fret 2. I've got finger 3 and I'm sliding up 2 frets like that, okay? Then I've got my finger 2 on fret 3 of string 2 and I play open string 1. So let me get a little closer and see what's going on here. Okay, so okay. So next thing that happens is I swap on string 3 to finger 1, playing back on fret 2 where we started. I'm doing the same 3 strings, string 3, 2, 1, and then I take that finger 1 off and I do the same 3, 2, 1. All right, so far. And it goes back on where it just has been. Okay, got that so far. And then we've got this little run. So pull off if you can, which means we're going on string 2, fret 3, pulling off to fret 2, and then we're doing a similar thing on string 3, except we're going from fret 4 to fret 2. So you can either do, you can put a little half a bar down, or you can do whatever works for you. And if you find the pull off a little bit difficult, just play all the notes, that's really fine. So here's the whole riff. And then so we did a full D with a little twiddle, so it's kind of the finger 2, and this happens quite a lot in different variations of this. Off and then back on. And then we've got an A7. Okay, I'm choosing to use fingers 1 and 2 for this. Finger 2 on string 2, fret 2, all the 2's there. Finger 1 across on string 4, fret 2. Okay, so let's rewind to the start. So I've got the full D. Let's just move here so you can see what I'm doing with my pick as well. Full D, string 2, that finger comes off on string 1 and then goes back on again. Okay, you get that? So it's chord, string 2, open string 1, finger back on, fret 2, and then comes off down to string 2. Okay, I hope you followed that. Then I've got a G shape. Now I'm choosing to use my finger 2 and 3 over here on my strings 5 and 6. And I'm going to add, so I'm playing the chord from string 6 down to string 2. I'm missing out string 1, so I don't have my finger there as you'd normally have for a G. And I'm going to add that finger on string 2, fret 3. Then I play the open string 1, back to string 2. Now, what happens here is it happens a couple of times in this song. I'm doing some soft downbeats and I'm playing particular strings a bit more firmly on the upstroke. Let me get that? So let's open string 2. It's coming out firmly. Then you've got fret 3, open string 1, back to string 2, fret 3. Okay, and then we're going to A7, which we've seen already. And this time we do a little shuffle around the shape. So we start with that chord, and then finger 2 comes off, goes back on. Finger 3 gets added on, string 2, fret 3. And then it comes off for an upstroke, playing the higher pitch string. Got that? So, introduction from the start. And then it repeats with a little subtle difference. So that's the same so far. Then when we do our G, this time instead of adding that little finger onto string 2, we're going to add a finger 1 onto string 1, fret 2. Now you might be familiar with that chord. It's a G major 7. That is the shape we're doing here. But again, we're playing the chord down to string 2 and then little upstroke playing that extra note on string 1 fret 2. Take it off, play the open string, and then that little finger there is back on string 2 fret 3. And an A7, and that's our introduction. That's also the verse when it comes round, okay? It's pretty much exactly the same. Okay, and then the chorus. Here comes the sun. All right, so more little interplay around the D. So we play the chord and then we're focusing on that top string there, string 1, on, off, on, then that note on string 2. That's kind of what we're doing. I've got the chord going on the whole time, but that's sort of the riff that's happening. And then that same riff that we started with. Okay, something like that. And then we've got this G major 7 shape happening again. So it's on, off, on. And then, for the first time, this chord. So this is an E7. Finger 2 is on string 5 fret 2. Finger 1 is on string 3 fret 1. And finger 4 is on string 3 fret 2. So, where were we? So I'm playing that string 2 with that pinky there. My upstroke and my following soft downstroke. It's playing the rest of the strings, or most of them. I hope this makes sense. And I say that's with just that E7 shape, playing string 2, 1, 2. And then we've got another little riff around the D. It's alright. So that's full chord, finger 2 off, and back on again, but aiming for that string 2. And then a killer riff which we learned a little while ago. Shuffle on A7 to take us round to the start of the second verse. And at the end of the second verse, A7 will just go boom, boom, 2 short, sharp downstrokes. Then it's the bridge, which is, I think, our last remaining bit of guitar to learn. So, pattern that you might be familiar with from some walking guitar, walking bass line kind of style. So I'm on string 5, I play open, I play finger 3 on fret 4, I go up to string 4 with finger 1 on fret 2. And then this. Yeah, so what we've got here, well, it's a chord shape you might know as F major 7. You've got finger 1 on string 2 fret 1, finger 2 on string 3 fret 2, finger 3 on string 4 fret 3. And you're playing strings 4, 3, 2. Now what's going to happen is these two fingers, fingers 2 and 3, are going to bounce across and bounce across again. This finger 1 can stay where it is. It's only, you only play that note on the first shape, that one there, and then you bounce across and you play strings 5, 4, 3, bounce across again and you play yet again 5, 4, 3, and then we've got, so that's string 6, string 5, and then we'll snap into a D. Now it's a big jump for finger 2, you've got a long way to travel, like that. So let me do that again. Now, Now, if you're doing that, and like me, you sometimes play some different strings, it doesn't really matter too much. It's still going to sound okay. Must have done that a couple of times. It's string 6, 5, 4 instead of 5, 4, 3. But if you've got those fingers there, it's going to be okay. It's going to fit fine. Something like that. Okay. Now, it happens once instrumentally, and then with the word sun, 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 here it comes. That in fact happens 5 times. Quite an unusual number in music, and it sort of builds up and builds up and builds up every time. If you're playing it on your own, if you're just performing it yourself, you might choose to do fewer than 5. It is a little bit repetitive. But if you like to reproduce the song in its original form, then it is 5 times. And then, there is one more little bit, the little link to take us back to the start of the next verse. After our final sun, 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 here it comes, we do this. Now we're working around A7. We've got a big build up here. So, I'm kind of keeping the beat with my downstrokes and doing the extra stuff with the upstrokes. So we're playing the A7 chord, and then off, on, that's finger 2, coming off, on. And as before, when we worked around this chord, we've got finger 3 adding itself on to string 2, fret 3. Then it comes off and goes back on again, and that's just an open string 1 that I'm playing there, giving it a bit of an emphasis. So the story so far: off, on, extra finger, that goes off, on, and then it comes off again, and then it goes on again, and then it goes up to string 1. So the riff is kind of this. There's an A7 happening throughout it, but it's that note there on string 2, fret 2, open string 2, back to fret 2, same string, fret 3, fret 2, fret 3, open string 1, string 2, fret 3, open string 1, string 1, fret 3. Yeah? And then we're back to the third and final verse. Ice is slowly melting. We have a chorus and a repeat chorus. Here comes the sun. Here comes the sun. It's alright. And we do the riff. We repeat. It's alright. Straight after that riff, we do the riff from the bridge. And a little slow down at the end there, a rallentando as it's properly called. So we just do that riff 1 time. And a big D to finish. And that is it. Right. I hope that made enough sense. It doesn't have to be an exact science, this song. Play around the chords, do your own thing. I'm sure George Harrison wouldn't mind that at all. Okay, it's a great song, and I hope you enjoy learning it. And let's all look forward to the sun coming out, literally and metaphorically in every other way you can think of. All right, that's all for now. See you later.